Have you ever heard of a book connected to the Bible that talks about fallen angels, giants, forbidden knowledge, and the world lost before the Great Flood? This isn't a modern fantasy novel. It's an ancient text known as the Book of Enoch. For centuries, this book has captivated scholars, theologians, and anyone fascinated by the hidden corners of history. This mysterious work is attributed to Enoch, who you might remember as Noah's great-grandfather. In the book of Genesis, Enoch's story is short but powerful. It says he walked with God, then he was no more, because God took him. Think about that. Unlike almost every other figure in the Bible, Enoch didn't die. He was taken directly by God. But ancient traditions suggest his story didn't end there. The Book of Enoch claims that after he was taken, he was shown incredible visions of heaven, the secrets of creation, and the ultimate fate of the fallen angels. For a very long time, the Book of Enoch was considered lost. Early Christian writers mentioned it, but the actual text had vanished from the Western world. Then, in the late 18th century, a breakthrough happened. Explorers in Ethiopia discovered ancient manuscripts that had preserved the book in the Ge'ez language. To this day, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church includes the Book of Enoch in its official biblical canon. For most other Christian denominations, however, the book is considered apocryphal, meaning it's not part of the official Bible. Yet, its influence is undeniable. Did you know the New Testament itself contains a brief quote from it? The Epistle of Jude refers to a prophecy made by Enoch. This begs a fascinating question. If the Book of Enoch was known and even quoted by early believers, why was it eventually excluded from most Bibles? One of the most dramatic and famous parts of the Book of Enoch tells the story of beings known as the Watchers. These Watchers were angels, originally sent to earth to observe humanity. But according to the story, something went terribly wrong. Instead of simply watching and guiding, they became fascinated by human women. They broke the sacred laws of heaven, descended to earth, and took human wives. This single act is said to have irrevocably changed the course of world history. The children born from these unions were not ordinary humans. They were giants, powerful beings known in some traditions as the Nephilim. The Book of Enoch paints a terrifying picture of these giants. They were enormous, violent, and had an insatiable hunger. They consumed everything: animals, crops, and eventually, they turned on humanity itself. The world plunged into chaos and destruction. But it didn't stop there. The fallen angels also taught humans forbidden knowledge, secrets that humanity was never meant to possess. They revealed the arts of advanced warfare and making weapons. They taught sorcery and enchantments, astrology, and the hidden secrets of the cosmos. They even introduced cosmetics and the concept of vanity. What began as a celestial mission of observation turned into a complete corruption of the earthly realm. Human society was warped, violence spread like a plague, and the very balance of creation was broken. As chaos reigned on earth, the angels of heaven could not stand by. The Book of Enoch describes how they saw the suffering and cried out before God. Powerful archangels like Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael pleaded for justice. The earth, they reported, was filled with misery because of what the fallen angels had done. God's response was swift and decisive. According to the text, the archangel Raphael was commanded to bind one of the leaders of the fallen angels. Others were imprisoned deep beneath the earth, where they would await the final day of judgment. The giants, their monstrous offspring, were destined to destroy each other and perish from the world. But the damage had already been done. Humanity had been deeply corrupted, and violence was everywhere. According to the Book of Enoch, this widespread corruption was one of the primary reasons God decided to bring about the Great Flood. And this is where Enoch's role in the story becomes truly extraordinary. He is chosen to be a messenger, a go-between for heaven and the fallen angels on earth. The Watchers, realizing their doom, ask Enoch to plead with God on their behalf. They cling to a desperate hope that they might still be forgiven. But the answer Enoch brings back is not what they want to hear. God declares that their judgment is final. The fallen angels will not be forgiven. Their actions have caused permanent damage to the world, and their punishment will be eternal. Now, just imagine that moment, a mortal man, Enoch, standing before these incredibly powerful, once celestial beings, and telling them their fate is sealed. It's a scene of incredible tension and gravity, but Enoch's journey was far from over. After delivering this heavy message, he was taken on an even greater adventure. This was a journey beyond the physical earth itself, into the very mysteries of the heavens. What he saw there would become some of the most fascinating and mind-bending visions ever recorded in ancient literature. In the next part of our exploration, we'll follow Enoch on his cosmic journey. We'll uncover his visions of the different levels of heaven, the secrets of the stars, and the universe he was shown, and the prophecies he received about the final judgment that awaits not just the fallen angels, but all of creation. Because if the Book of Enoch is to be believed, the story of humanity, our world, and the forces that shape it is far more mysterious and complex than we could ever imagine. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next part of this incredible story. See you next time. After delivering the message of judgment to the fallen angels, Enoch's story takes an extraordinary turn. According to the Book of Enoch, he is taken on a journey through the universe itself. Angels guide him beyond the earth, beyond the skies, and into the hidden structure of creation. What Enoch describes is not simply heaven. It is a vast cosmic system, a universe filled with gates, stars, chambers, and divine order. The secrets of the cosmos. In one section of the book, Enoch is shown the movements of the sun and the moon. He describes great gates in the sky where celestial bodies rise and set. Ancient readers believed these visions explain how the universe functioned. Some scholars today believe these passages reflect early attempts to understand astronomy. But in the text itself, the message is spiritual. The heavens move according to the laws established by God. Nothing in creation is random. Everything follows a divine order. The place of judgment. During his journey, Enoch is also shown mysterious places prepared for the future. Among them are regions where souls await judgment. Some places are peaceful, others are dark and terrible. According to the Book of Enoch, these locations exist for those who lived in righteousness and those who chose corruption. Enoch also sees the final punishment prepared for the fallen angels. The watchers who corrupted humanity will face judgment at the end of time. Their rebellion will not be forgotten. The message to humanity, but the visions given to Enoch were not meant only for angels. They were meant for humanity. The book repeatedly warns that human choices matter. Nations rise and fall, powerful rulers appear and disappear, but justice will eventually come. Enoch describes a future when evil will be judged and righteousness will be restored. For ancient readers, this message offered both warning and hope. Why the Book of Enoch still fascinates the world today. The Book of Enoch remains one of the most debated ancient texts connected to the Bible. Historians study it because it reveals how ancient people understood the universe. Theologians study it because of its influence on early Jewish and Christian thought. And readers around the world continue to be fascinated by its dramatic stories of angels, giants, and cosmic visions. Even though the book is not part of the biblical canon for most churches, its themes continue to echo through history. Ideas about fallen angels, spiritual warfare, and the final judgment appear again and again in later religious traditions. The legacy of Enoch's figure of Enoch himself remains mysterious. In the Bible, his life is described in only a few sentences. Yet his story left an enormous legacy. He is remembered as a man who walked so closely with God that death itself did not claim him. Whether one reads the Book of Enoch as history, theology, or ancient mythology, its message is clear. Humanity exists within a much larger story, a story that stretches beyond the visible world. Perhaps that is why the Book of Enoch continues to captivate readers today, because it reminds us that behind the ordinary events of history, there may be deeper mysteries about the origin of evil, the destiny of humanity, and the unseen forces that shape our world. And somewhere within those ancient pages, the voice of Enoch still speaks, a voice from a distant past, warning humanity to remember the laws of heaven